Then, because it's a great story.
All right, I will attempt this. You will have to excuse certain lapses of words. And that's the reason I'm drinking the beer.
Because that clears the mind. It's amazing how that's worked. Yeah, I get it.
Right. Okay. So my mother is in Tucson because my brother, who is in the Air Force, is in Tucson. And I go out to visit Mom once a year. It just so happens that once a year is when the Indians are in spring training. Right.
Sick about it.
Matter of fact, I stop at High Corbett Field.
Yes.
Right.
Ooh,
And there's a golf course there
Very
too.
good. Anyhow, but I eventually get to Mother, see, and the usual wonderful greeting and so forth. And I'm staying at the Doubletree, which is just opposite the park. And each morning I get up and I run, I don't know, 3-4 miles around there, and then I go to that marvelous restaurant that had great Mexican food for breakfast. When I took Mother to the ball games, it was an adventure in and of itself, because Mother did not know baseball, in spite of the fact she grew up in a household with my father, a avid Pittsburgh Pirate fan, and me, and we were in adjoining rooms. He was in the living room with the Zenith, listening to the Pirates game, and I'm 10 feet away on, I'm not sure what the make was.
RCA?
Anyhow, listening to the Indians game. And in between, we're going, and my mother is in the kitchen going fucking crazy. Yeah, right. Okay, so, anyhow, but I persuade her to go to a game now and then, almost always. It was an adventure in itself, in that Mother said the stuff that they sell, like hot dogs, that's dreck, okay? And so she would have a package of sliced carrots, various vegetables, and you know, you have not lived until you've had carrots and beer together. That's a sarcasm.
There's a treat.
Okay. Anyhow, there's a game scheduled, I believe, and on this particular morning, I called Mom and I said, you know, I'll go over and I'll get tickets. I go to the ballpark and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning and there's no one there. I mean, literally no one there. That's kind of strange. And I see something posted that they're playing in Scottsdale that day. Oh, shit. So I sit in the stands. You've been there, so you know what the bleachers look like. Along the first base line. And I'm just looking at the field and the marvelous symmetry of that field, or any baseball field. But, I mean, need not tell the three of you anything about how baseball fields are charming, and a number of other words. Anyhow, I look out and I think, I could go out and maybe see how it feels to be on the field. I get out there and I'm standing on first base and kicking it, looking around. There's nobody here. You know? And all of a sudden I take off, okay, and I slide into second base. Right. I now dust myself off, look around to make sure that people with white coats are not watching me. Right?
Yeah, the funny farm.
And I'm watching the pitcher very cagily. And he turns and throws to second base. I detect the move immediately and take off for third.
You did?
Yeah.
You broke?
Huh?
You broke for third.
You broke for third?
I broke for third. Yeah.
What was he thinking?
Right.
You think he's more your will.
I hit third base about the time the ball reaches it, and the third baseman or whoever's covering it drops the ball and it rolls 15 feet away.
I could not have told the story like this.
Being the great athlete that I am, I leaped to my feet, toward home plate, you know, and head first slide, safe. I scored a run without the benefit. I now am really desperately looking around like, Jesus, if anybody saw me, I'm in deep, deep doo-doo. No one evidently did. So I'm there kind of huffing and puffing, obviously, and I hear this very distinct sound, and there's a sound of, excuse me, of metal spikes on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, everybody. No more.
History.
Yeah. And they're coming up kind of a slanted walkway, and I don't turn and look, not immediately at least, and I hear the steps going away from me. So I take the risk and I look, and there's a guy walking away to my left, and he's got his jacket on, and the big number on the back is 19. And I think, holy shit, it's Bob Feller, who worked out with the team at that point. I'm not sure how far beyond it. When did he retire? Doesn't matter. Anyhow, I begin to get kind of willies in there. You know, this is my childhood hero from the time I was 11. And when he had, you know, this incredible fastballs, and I need not tell you about Bob Feller. I'm sitting there thinking, if he comes back, what do I say to him? How do I open a conversation with God? You know, thinking about the great duels that he and Hal Newhouser used to have when Newhouser was with the Tigers.
Yeah.
And I think, I wonder how that whole thing came out. I'm just in that wondering stage, and I hear the spikes coming back. Click, 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 click. And he has to kind of pass me, I guess, to get to the passageway. I somehow manage, heart and throat, to stand up, introduce myself, tell him, I suppose, I'm not sure what I said to him as an admirer. I said, but I was just sitting here, Bob. I managed to get Bob out of my mouth. And I was wondering, in those pitching matchups with Hal Newhouser, how did it come out? He said, I won 12 and he won 3, and thanks for asking. and he walked out.
That's the most amazing story I've
Yeah,
ever
but he
heard.
didn't get
Here's
to
how I
the-
hear the story for the first time. Just a typical Chautauqua moment. Mark Altschuler says you must meet Bob and Lori Sherman, who's got a story regarding Bob Feller. And we did meet for breakfast at a small restaurant right off the Commons there, and it's a hotel.
Oh.
Teleo. Yeah, so it's Teleo. We're having breakfast. I don't know you from Adam, but we introduced. Next thing you tell the story, and it's the greatest thing ever. I'm thinking, this is what a morning. And then the next day, as would have it, I was going to Erie, and there was the Erie Seawolves, who were then affiliated with the Cleveland Indians. And they're setting up a stand. When I'm walking in is Bob Feller. So, of course, we need to have a baseball signed from Bob Feller to Bob Sherman. So, what are the, it just, timing was unbelievable.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect time.
You would have done
Your
the same
memory
thing
is
if the
almost
stadium was
always-
open. You would have slid
What
into
you
each
gave
base.
me was a picture.
Oh, it was a picture.
The
Okay.
picture said to Bob Sherman,
That was right.
et cetera, you know, Bob Feller.
But you know what Bob Feller really said to him? That guy was really out at the plate. I saw the whole thing.